All right, guys, welcome back to Above Ground World News. It's Thursday. We made it to another Thursday. The Birdman is back. I'm going to play a little montage. The audio's messed up. I didn't get very much time to prepare it, but we're going to play that. And then later on in the show, we'll show that they are full of bull, the sock puppet mainstream media. Then we also got some articles to get into. Anyway, here, check this out.
Hey, did you know that weather radar can show things other than storms, like here in this example? And this is actually something you'll see pretty often in the early mornings during spring, summer, and fall. You ever check?
My question is, have you tested the rainwater? And if you haven't, have you seen the results of our rainwater tests? And also, are you aware that many of the people sitting in this room right here have very high levels of barium, aluminum, and strontium in their blood? People are getting sick and dying. And we want the ADEQ not just to give us a little speech today, but actually to maybe perhaps speak out against it if you know it's going on. And if not, I would suggest you do a lot more investigation.
The app to check the radar, and there's all this weird, just, blue stuff all over the radar. That's all rain down toward the south. But what is this? This is ground clutter. Let me explain what that means. It's basically you're seeing bugs, maybe a few birds, and some bats also, but there's a reason why this happens.
Up towards the Topeka area, look at all of this. Uh-oh, that's got to be snow, right? Because it's so cold outside. No, not snow, Joe. This is actually birds taking off from the various rivers, lakes, ponds over on the Kansas side, and they show up, believe it or not, on Doppler radar.
What you're seeing there in the middle of the eye here, this is the eye of the storm where it's pretty quiet, so you wouldn't expect there's going to be any rain there. This is actually birds.
So I'd like a comment on, one, the rainwater, what's in it, and two, what's in our blood. And if it's not coming from geoengineering, is it your responsibility to investigate that and tell us where it is coming from? Thank you.
Yeah, birds actually showed up in the middle of this hurricane, as they often do. We saw this with Hurricane Arthur a couple years ago. This is a product that shows you how similarly shaped everything is, where you see the red colors, you got a lot of similar things flying around like rain. All this blue stuff here is, a mixture of birds, maybe some feathers flying around. This product shows you what shape things are, okay? And basically when you see these kind of higher colors here, like the purples and the whites, that's when things are more hamburger shaped rather than, vertically shaped. So think about how birds fly. Right? So they're they would appear more hamburger shaped to the radar. That's why they're showing up like that in there. Very, very interesting stuff.
When we have these earthquakes, is the birds. We can see this. Actually, what I want to do here, I'm showing you radar here for the last couple of hours. See how it's quiet? This was before the earthquake. Watch behind me as all of a sudden you start to see all of that. What that actually is the birds taking flight.
We're in one of these vans. This is about as nasty as it been. Vans like this last night. Well, this morning we were not on TV. It was the dark hit.
Problem. And two, what's in our blood. And if it's not coming from geoengineering, is it your responsibility to investigate that and tell us where it is coming from? Thank you. Does the ADEQ have the ability to take a position on this and investigate it further and find out where these toxic metals are coming from that are in our rainwater and in our blood? Thank you.
My name is Michelle Arnett, and I'm from Bullhead City. And I'm one of the several who have had my blood tested because I was getting sick and I didn't know why. And I did go to my doctor, and he had some question on how to order these specific tests for heavy metals. And when the results came back and they were really out of line, he said he had never seen anything like it in his life, and he didn't have a clue what to do about it.
Generally in the warmer months, and generally very early in the morning before the sun comes up. Okay, so when skies are clear, the temperatures at the surface will get pretty cool. When you have a cool layer of air down at the surface and warm air just above that, we call that an inversion, and it tends to affect how the radar beam moves. Now, normally a radar beam shoots at a little bit of an upward angle. So the farther away you get from the radar site, you're seeing data from higher and higher up in the air. In this case, with the inversion in place, very early on in the mornings, you tend to see that radar beam kind of shoot back a little bit. kind of shoot back a little bit toward the Earth. It can affect the way that the beam refracts, and that's where all the birds and the bugs and all that stuff are. They don't go above that layer. So that's why you see that, because once the sun comes up, then all of a sudden, you know, the radar beam goes back to where it belongs, above that layer.
Doesn't it bug you when rain pops up on an otherwise beautiful day? The sky is blue and suddenly this starts showing up on radar. So here you are in Southern California and you think, maybe I better head inside. Well, not so fast. I don't mean to cloud your thinking, but despite this radar echo, it wasn't raining. In fact, there weren't even any clouds around to produce rain. And this was a puzzle that was really bugging some local meteorologists. If there's nothing dark, dreary, or even wet outside, how do we explain this large green blob? Well, the answer is actually quite lovely. If you're scratching your head a bit, let me explain. A weather observer discovered what was actually causing this radar return: a swarm of ladybugs. And a group of ladybugs is called a loveliness. Yes, that's right, a loveliness of ladybugs. A strange name for a group of bugs, and an even stranger explanation as to why some meteorologists were a bit confused.
The company says it uses ground-based servers to launch a signal at the targeted clouds and alter their paths to get them to where they're needed.
Essentially, we're drawing oceanic rain systems that exist over the oceans into geographic targets, into our agricultural areas. The technology uses electromagnetics, so we're not interfering with the atmosphere or with the environment. We're not damaging it. We're not using chemicals fired through rockets like other technologies use. We use a very gentle but powerful technology, launching electromagnetics into the atmosphere to modify the flow of the weather system over the ocean.
Because I'm also an expert in climate change. And the only way we can confront climate change is not, you know, we are talking about reducing emissions, but politically it's not going anywhere. And we need urgent action in the coming decade, because after that it's too late.
Residents in southern Tasmania are demanding to know why cloud seeding was conducted over the Derwent River catchment the day before the worst floods in 40 years. Cloud seeding is a technique used to increase rain. Hydro Tasmania has confirmed it flew a cloud seeding flight despite the weather warnings.
Weather generator is based on principles of air ionization. A complex of weather generator stations are positioned accordingly to draw in sufficient moisture to enhance cloud formation for precipitation of rain. Each weather generator station is designed to draw in atmospheric moisture from a 5-kilometer radius. Negative charged ions emitted from the generator ionizes the air over the generator. Unlike natural cloud condensation nuclei, ionized particles intensely attract up to 10 times more moisture vapor from horizontal air mass to enhance condensation and saturation.
All right, guys, there you go. Is the mic working? Test 1 2. Okay, I think it's working. So there you go, man. There's just some of the ways. Whoa, I didn't know there was. There's just some of the ways that they try to fool you, try to make you believe in nonsense. I mean, that's all, you know, actors. That's all they are, is actors. The news people are complete full of crap anyway. And then I showed the water generation that's going on all over the place. Weather War 101 used to do some great footage when these storms are blowing up in a centralized area. If you zoom in on Google Earth, you can see that it's a water generating station. And we didn't even get into the chaff and all the other things the meteorologists are talking about on here, and the created snow by the planes and all that stuff. We know what these actually are. They use these along with the aerosols that are being deployed in the water generating stations to steer the storms. And we see right over here in California, you have military radars that are just going off the hook. We've documented all the companies that have steered the storms with their electromagnetics and their radio frequencies. And then we just kind of watch the maps and get that all in here. Anyway, let's jump into some headlines here. So this is coming out of Oklahoma. So much land under so much water. Extreme flooding is now drowning parts of the Midwest. And this one's coming out of Minnesota, the Arkansas River. But it's not getting much better. I know here on Truman Lake it went down maybe 2 inches. And then here's another headline. I don't have these in order. I should have got them in order while we were listening to the clip. At least 5 other LAPD officers showing symptoms of typhoid fever. Now we're going to start seeing tons of these different kind of diseases with all these floods. So they'll be pushing that stuff. So anyway, let's get into the other one here. Well, it's not showing the thumbnail. The U.S. Navy lands 2 massive hovercrafts on Oregon Beach. And this was a, here, I'll just read it. The hovercraft can carry 60 tons. They also make a lot of noise, impressive, blah, blah, blah. And this was a drill that happened on Monday, June 3rd. The Oregon coast experienced an amphibious invasion Monday. It was the U.S. Navy practicing supplying delivery via huge hovercraft. The drill was to prepare sailors for supplying coastal communities in the event of a natural disaster like an earthquake. We've been seeing a lot of these kind of, we just had the 7.7 New Madrid earthquake. In fact, it's still going on. Well, it went on up till today here in Missouri. Then we had the Ebola outbreak, not outbreak, but the Ebola, you know, same thing. Man, I'm like losing my thought. I'm so tired. But anyway, yeah, man, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Midwest flooding could lead to a big dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. It was weird because I seen another article earlier today about a dead zone, and I don't think I have it up, which I'm not going to play the video. We know what it's from. Well, one thing that I've been noticing here with the Weather Channel, the lying sock puppets, they're pushing this stuff about the water, about the clean water. They're saying, you know, they're kind of, it's like the programming. There's 5 cities that could potentially run out of water. In fact, they changed their name for a couple days here from the, yeah, look, it's the Water Channel. They changed the name to the Water Channel. And they're promoting all this stuff on water, basically telling you that we're out of water, even though we're inundated with water. It's just the way they play mind games on you. But pretty crazy stuff. The Missouri River may be high until November. So we're going to be dealing with this for a long time. Then, like I said, after the floods. You know, what are all these people going to do? Where are they at? Where's all the information on where to go if you're flooded out of your house? How about the tornado victims from the damage of that? All questions that need to be answered, but they're not talking about it. You know, and then a lot of these people, they're not going to charge or cover the flood stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. So we got just tons of this flooding going on. And then we had another small earthquake hits off the California coast. This happened Wednesday morning. Another trembler hit San Clemente Island Thursday morning, just one day after 4 earthquakes struck the same area. So we're going to kind of watch the, with all the earthquake things going on and all that, we need to keep our eyes on that stuff. So I'd tune in to Dutch on that part. Now somebody sent me this. They're from Missouri too, and they got some video here. Let's play a little clip of this. Face it, fearless preps. Yeah, Carrollton is bad. I was up in Chillicothe, Missouri today, and the highway was closed to go. I was going to try to go down through Carrollton, but I couldn't. They had 13 highway or 65, whatever highway that was, closed. See what she says here.
I'm only going to do a little stream tonight. I've been learning a lot of stuff on YouTube, but the biggest thing is I'm streaming. I've got a little bit of battery left, but I wanted to show you guys what's going on here, and I'm hoping that this comes through clearly. I am up at an on-ramp up on a bridge out in Carrollton, and I just realized I was told you can really get a better picture, a better idea of what's going on. If you guys can see behind me, this is Carrollton. This is onto the basically going into Carrollton. I know you guys saw some of the pictures. You know where I was showing you guys, hey Small Wildflowers, just in case June, thank you to Small Wildflowers. Hello Elish, Mrs. Dallin, how are you guys doing? I just wanted to show you guys, this was from the other side where I did the original video a couple of days ago. I was on the other side of this, where the railroad crossing was. I was on the other side of this, and this is what that other side looks like. And you guys.
So we got, you know, major flooding up there. Today was the day it was supposed to be the highest amount. So yeah, thanks for sending that to me. Get great footage on the ground reporting right there. So I'll put this link in the description if you want to, or I'll put it here in chat. That way if you want to watch it, I forgot to do the links and all that crap. So I'll put that in chat for you guys. Save that for later, or whatever you want to do there. And this was a video somebody else sent me. Oh yeah, thanks everybody. I got a couple care packages today. Much love for that. I didn't have a name on there. I know you left a comment, but I can now spill my coffee and not spill it on the keyboard. So much love. Thanks for that. Then Two Shot Jack. Hey, much love to you. That come just in the nick of time. Anyway, guys, much love. Thanks for helping keep this operation going here. Let's go ahead and check the watches and warnings real quick before we jump into everything else. Yeah, LA is just flooded big time right now. Baton Rouge. Like I didn't have a whole lot of time. Look, we got the beams coming out. These are not birds. You know, and they said this happens in the morning. Well, this is not in the morning. Look, they're all blooming out. These are not birds, man. They're so full of crap. Yeah, well, thanks there, Rhonda. So anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of looking at this, make sure we don't have any kind of tornado stuff. Yeah, still tornadoes. That's down around Alabama, but that was earlier. Seeing what's going on once we get a little closer to now. Still tornadoes in Texas. So right as this minute, we don't have any tornadoes. The last one was at 55. So like at almost 1 o'clock, so we're okay. Wow, that's only going up to 245. What the heck? Why is that so far out? All right, let's just go ahead and try to jump into... Oh, here, I want to play this little call of... Well, I'm trying to get some stuff ready. I'll play this call that Radical Ralph called. Hey, thanks, brother. This is the kind of stuff we need to be doing anyway. Here, let's play this.
Your Governor's office, this is Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. My name is Ralph, and I have a few questions or comments that I'd like to see if we could get to the governor.
I'm listening.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to start out on the runaway.
Wheel of Death.
The runaway barge has...
Wow. Censor.
No tip about that. I think somebody, this thing is, no one's talking about all that, what do you call it, all that fertilizer going into the Gulf. And last year we had terrible problem in Florida there with die-off, and they were blaming it on farmers and fish runoff. I think that might end up being catastrophic. I would just like somebody to look into that, where the tie-up lines or where the anchor lines. In 30 miles of river, there was no barge available, there was no tug available. The Coast Guard never went out and escorted that runaway boat downriver. And that really concerns me. Okay, the second thing is about all this mess. Now, this is a little hard to swallow, but I'll give you all the information that many of us have. And they are trying to shut down people on YouTube. So, we got, number one, Magnetic Technologies. They're out of Dubai. They're a weather control agent. That's just no baloney. I know it might be tough. And before you mention this to anybody, why don't you go look it up on your personal time, these sites that I'm going to give you, and maybe see the magnitude of what we're talking about. The second one is Global Climate Control Trading, LLC. And they use isospheric heaters to heat the ionosphere to dump all this water on this country. I know you might find that tough to believe, but just follow the trail and look for it. The second thing, if you need a definition of all this, is Jim Lee Climate Viewer. Jim Lee Climate Viewer, he can be found .com or on YouTube. He's got great videos that exposes everything. He addressed Congress. Congress, Senate, and the President know this is going on. And maybe some of these governors do, and for some reason they're letting this flooding going on. But this is man-made, manipulated weather by geoengineering. You can look that up. John Brennan, ex-CIA. He's got 1 minute and 51 seconds, and he tells you what they're doing with the aerosols in the aircraft and how they're manipulating weather. The third one is, if you have time and you do this, Jennifer, by yourself, please do look into this. But tonight, and if not tonight, tomorrow night, Mike Morales at Above Ground World News. He comes on about 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you go to YouTube, Above Ground World News, you can get an idea of how you're being hit and how you're being manipulated. They're using Gwen Towers, they're using other RF radio frequency towers. They're also using these isospheric heaters, and I'm a ham radio operator, so I understand the magnitude of what's that?
When is the next disaster?
Well, I'm not a fortune teller, and I don't know what these people are doing, what their plans are. You know, we could wake up tomorrow morning and they put 110 degrees on you and everyone else. We have one young lady in my YouTube channel. By the way, if you find this interesting and you ever want to comment, my name is Radical Ralph, one word, Russo. And you can go to my channel and I do a morning talk show.
All right. Hey, thanks, Ralph. Nice job.
Hey,
Whoa.
Vash.
Whoa, what the
It's
heck?
the 5th of June, 2019.
I went to autoplay or something. So, all right, man. Hey, good job there, Radical Ralph. We need more people making calls like that, demanding answers, going to your town hall meetings, joining your local groups to try to get a stop to this before it's too late, man. Everything's just going so crazy right now. Let me take these watches and warnings off. We'll jump into some forecast models, try to get a heads up on what's coming. So here's some of the damage coming out of Baton Rouge. There's been people killed. They've had tornadoes, mega floods. Looks like Missouri and Oklahoma and Arkansas. And the bad thing is all the water from the Missouri River, the Mississippi River, they're all heading south. So they're going to be getting super inundated. They just opened some of the floodgates up, so the water's coming. So that water is going to mix with this water. I don't know how long it takes to get down there, but not a good thing. Let's go ahead and get a couple things loaded here. So no active storms. Let's go ahead and check the Mimic while I'm right here. Yeah, make sure you click on Ralph's name there and you can subscribe to him. He does the morning coffee. I try to get in there if I can, but I'm usually working. But when I can, I jump in there. So we got another that's pretty much a stitching error, but I'm just kind of watching the water vapors, seeing for anomalies. Nothing sticking out. I mean, I see a few things, but nothing really worth sticking out on here. Okay, let's go ahead and check the forecast models. Let's see what's coming at us. All right, so here is the rain. We're going to go up 6 hours at a time. So here in the next 6 hours, you got heavy rain for Arkansas. All this Gulf moisture mixing in with the cloud seeding operations, which we'll show you those here in a little bit. Same border right there at Arkansas and Missouri. So everybody's going to get a little rain here in the southeast. And then it's going to move right up the coast, man. They're going to flood out the whole East Coast next. It's coming. They're just working their way through. So we got, look at these heavy rains for, quite a bit of time, like 18 hours. So here we are on Tuesday, January 11th. So all the way into the 12th. So once it starts raining on the East Coast, it's not going to stop for a while. I know you guys have been under cloud cover, nasty synthetic clouds. We got a brutal little system brewing down there. And might have to watch that little thing there. Yeah, here's that one. I mean, that's right at the verge. This is coming in on June 12th. So that thing really wraps up right there over Georgia on Wednesday. And it's a pretty slow mover. So in 6 hours, it's only moving up, not very far. So this is going to be another rain bomb coming up the East Coast. And then we got another big severe. That's going to be bad right there on Friday, June 14th. You can see how tight the winds are. That's going to be a wind event. So super heads up for Texas, Oklahoma, and probably going, yeah, it's going to stay right there on the border. So we got some pretty good wind coming up next week too. All right, we're probably good with that. Let's go ahead and check the total precipitation amounts. See where the target zones are over the next couple weeks here. We crank it up. Yeah, I seen that. We'll get into the worldview map here in just a minute, man. California got hit in the exact same place it got hit yesterday. Now look, this is where they were seeding yesterday. But this is later down the month, so we'll see. Hold on, let me go back here. Yeah, so they are getting rain right where they seeded yesterday. Okay. We bring that back up. So when we take this all the way up to 16 days or 2 weeks, whatever this is, it shows the target zones, the heavy rain. Like right here, we're looking at another 12 to 14 inches over the next 2 weeks. And look right there at the edge of Florida, man. Right off the coast, you're looking at about 20 inches of rain over the next 2 weeks. So hopefully that will stay off. And, you know, all these purples is anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rain. So still a lot of rain out here coming up over the next couple weeks. So yeah, man, big time. So they're going for the East Coast now. We go ahead and bring over the worldview map. What's the wrong one? Here we go. Yeah, let's go take a look. Now you can't really see these shipping operations today. Yesterday they were way out here. Let me see if I can put the layer on, see if we see them. There's one there. Maybe one there, but they're not standing out. So maybe they are refueling the bunker ships. This may be the only break we get for a couple days. So we'll see when they show back up on here. So we got all kinds of weather engineering going on over Northern California, right over Santa Rosa. Huge X's everywhere. I don't know if I loaded the other layers. Let's see here. You got different layers that you can work with. So you got different time frames. And you can see the progression of these aerosols. Like it'll go from nothing to a heavy aerosol, and then next thing you know, it's a storm system. Well, it's not loading very good. Yeah, stream's really sucking tonight pretty bad. Alright, so I'm gonna have to just keep it on the one I got loaded. Yeah, they're buffering us too, man. I got everything cranked up. I only have 2 tabs up. And the aerosols are still continuing up in Canada. Spraying operations in Montana. Also in Idaho, going into Northern California, or Reno, Nevada there. And you can see they're just bombarding the whole front side of the system. Clouds seeding it up, mucking it up. Synthetic skies. Good. I know I kind of wiggled the mic cord. I'm starting to wonder if I have an instrument mic instead of my vocal mic. I might have to check into that tomorrow. Wow, nothing's really loading very good. When I glanced at this earlier, man, they got a big time spraying operation down here in Argentina. Like it's a big time spraying operation, like huge. So it's going all the way across Chile, all the way across Argentina. It looks like they're pulling the atmospheric river up at a couple spots around the San Rio de Janeiro. I think that's where that is right there. Wow, this thing is just really fuzzy today. It's not coming in. Whoa, what do we got there? Something weird happened to that. So really no spraying off of Morocco's coast tonight. No spraying that I can tell around Portugal or Spain or France even. It does look like they have a system coming in though. So really no heavy aerosols out here at all. Now let's go down. That's probably been created. So looks like the weather generator must be off unless they're getting ready to crank up a new storm system over here. We'll dig into that later. All right, yeah, nothing's really wanting to load for me. This sucks. Yeah, they're going to be taking a bunch of our channels down. That's why you need to make sure you subscribe to all the backup stuff. The D-Live, the Twitch, the Discord. I think I got that down in chat. Or down in the description. So we also had a heavy aerosol in Southern California that we really didn't pick up. Wow, what the heck is that over there? I was trying to look at that. Looks like something like blasted out in front of it. Okay, we'll zoom in on a couple of these. Hey, thanks there, Doug. All right, we'll zoom in on a couple areas here. So we caught the one on the center of California. Yeah, we caught this one. But there's one we did not pick up in the worldview map. So you can see this is all synthetic color. It's not like a real cloud. Nothing on this whole page is a real cloud. These are all man-made. These are all made by aircraft, ships, drones. Mainly these are the aircraft. Segment and spraying, 2 sprayers going. Yeah, look at the spraying operation right there in Southern California. They got waxed. Super thick. These are some high flying planes right here, drones. You can definitely tell they're above the few real clouds that are out here. Yeah, they were flying in pairs. That's not separate engines. That's 2 planes. That's too far apart. That's huge distances. So wow, they got something definitely going, brewing something up there in Southern California, Central California, and then on up. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at the that's not where I wanted to go. We'll have to take a look at the earth null too and check the air qualities and all that stuff. Yeah, I know. Whatever they're dumping out the last few days has really drained everybody's energy. Everywhere I go, everybody's tired. Nobody can wake up. And that's been going on for like 3 days. I think RFB did a video today about the same thing. He was traveling through Missouri and he said he was all drained. And like we've had, you know, breathing problems the last couple days from this crap that they're loading up in the sky. So heavy spraying down there in Florida too. Didn't see that. So tons of spraying out ahead of this system. And it looked like they might have sprayed the backside here. Let me look here. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but yeah, definitely spraying operations there. That doesn't look right, man. That thing is going way faster than anything else. So I do want to check and see if the ships are out here. And I'll go ahead and get the earth null going. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Whatever they are dishing out, sometimes it gets you, you know, like lung infections, like chemtrail lung or chemtrail asthma, thunderstorm asthma is what they call it. You know, and then with all the flood waters, all the fires going up in Canada, all the fires down in Mexico, I mean, we probably got some pretty toxic air we're going to get into. All right, dang, I forgot to put that on the microphysics. All right, so we'll go ahead and check the Earth, though. Let's go ahead and check. We haven't checked this in a while. Let's check the polar vortex winds. So nothing high. No kind of high winds to work with. And the southern looks pretty damn normal. Let's go ahead and check our jet stream, see what they're doing. We know of all the bunker fuel operations over here. And I wish I would have I can go back a day or two. You know, when they create the ridges and they park the high pressures, and then they use the electromagnetics to like take a little hunk of the high pressure and they turn it into a low pressure. That's how that works. There's a little bit of wave generation going on out right where the boats were yesterday. 20 foot, not too bad. Down here by Australia, you got some 30 footers. Nothing too big. Let's go ahead and check the sea surface temperatures. We take off the wind so we don't look like no El Nino. They tried. The weird part is we got actually a lot of heating up in Alaska. Still not, you know, if they're calling that little spot and this little spot a El Nino, that's not a El Nino. So we really need to watch like over here for some heat for the tropical cyclones. Right now, if they fire up, they're going to be pretty close when they fire up. So we got just a little hot spot there, nothing big time. All right, so here we are with the dreaded carbon monoxide. And you can see exactly where all the fires are going on up in Canada. Look at the heavy toxic soup there in Southern California going into the Bajas, right where they're chemtrailing. So the air quality is horrible. Southern West Coast, everywhere they're spraying. Same thing in the upper Northeast. You guys are getting some you got just as bad as air as the fires going on. Probably a lot of this soup right here is from the fires. It's really crazy that China and India has gone down so much. They were really off the chart. We see the fires down here in Mexico. Wow, Australia's got a few small fires right down there in the southern part, a few up in the northern part. And we'll check the carbon dioxide at the surface. Wow, it's actually looking much better. Really bad there off of California. You guys probably need to check your air quality alert. Nothing in the blue. So this is probably the best it's looked all year. It's actually starting to clean up a lot. If we go back about a month ago, man, this whole thing was in the danger zone. So that's actually a good sign there. All right, so here's the PM 2.5, the really bad stuff. Particulate matter, man. It's pretty much like breathing volcanic ash or crushed glass. I mean, these are really small particles that can get into your lungs and your brain and all that stuff. So like right here, this is why we're having some breathing problems right here, because it's actually picked up quite a bit and really bad down there in Texas and parts of Mexico. something's always going on there in the East Coast, the upper Northeast. Pretty bad stuff up there. All right, so yeah, we still have the bunker fuel still being deployed right at Southern California, and also way out here. I'll show you where it is here as soon as it comes back through, cycles through. So they're right there. There's not a whole lot of them, but they're setting up the next low pressure system. And that's one thing I forgot to look at. We got to look at it. We need to look at the pressures. So yeah. So we do have a shipping operation down here, and then we got the other ones right here ahead of the, just west of the low pressure. Then of course they have the high pressure parked right there. This is what, that even makes sense, that the water vapor is going up over this high pressure. And I should be able to put, yeah, so here is, this map is basically like the mimic map. So, you know, this is no natural water vapor formation. This thing should be going right up into the Aleutian Island chain, but it's being pushed and then right into the target of California. It's been going on since the Paradise Fires. This is supposed to be swirling this way, and it's going right, being pulled right up the Gulf of Mexico. That's why we're so flooded. They're steering this river in the sky. All right, guys, so we're going to call this a show tonight. I want to thank everybody out there that helps us. Thanks to everybody that shares this. Thanks to all the mods and everybody that helps get this information out. Anyway, guys, much love. Hopefully we'll be a little more awake and prepared tomorrow, Friday night. Anyway, thank God it's Friday tomorrow. Anyway, much love, guys. Here we go. Let's rock out. Let's rise. Let's see if I can get it to